Rugby is sponsored by That's the Way, Motorway, the site to sell your car.
France, Grand Slam champions for the first time since 2010. Congratulations to them, thoroughly deserved. A clean sweep on their own patch and with the World Cup in their own country. 18 months away now, so much to look forward to for the French team. Ireland in second, England just squeezing Scotland out in third, and Italy in sixth, but they did win in Cardiff today, their first win in 37 games in the Six Nations. Let's get a reaction then from the French camp. Thibaut Flamand with Martin Bayfield.
Well, Thibaut, there's a lot of noise around here, a lot of chaos, but deep down now, you're Grand Slam winners. How does that feel?
It's an amazing feeling, very tough game, very intense. I'm just so happy for the team that we made it in the end.
A strong start. England kept coming back at you. What was being said as you were watching from the bench, then when you got onto the field, to keep things tight and keep France moving forward?
We knew coming here that it was going to be a very tough game for 80 minutes. We started doing very well. A bit frustrating that we couldn't finish off some good set piece from our side. But yeah, our defense was really good as well, and we managed to keep it consistent. They came back in the second half, but we managed to get the win in the end.
It's only a few minutes since the referee blew his whistle, but you're a Grand Slam champion. It's been a long wait for French rugby. How does it feel?
Obviously, I still can't realise what's happening, but yeah, it's amazing. Just the expression at the end of the whistle is just so good to share it with all the boys, with a huge stadium, very packed. So now, amazing feeling and so proud from all the group.
And it's a long journey from fly half for Loughborough fifth team.
Yeah, a very long journey. Yeah, it's been a big ride. There's still a lot to be done. I'm very happy to be part of this. Yeah, I'm just grateful for the help, all the support I received throughout my travel. So yeah, very happy. Yeah, very happy for France.
I'm sure they'll be having a few drinks. Many congratulations.
Yeah,
well done.
Thank you.
Playing for Loughborough Fifths gives you great English. There's the man in the glasses as well. Fabien Galthié never takes them off. Sir Clive Woodward, what would you say about a Grand Slam winning coach?
Oh, listen, just being here, it's a privilege to be here. And well done to Fabien Galthié. You never felt, England played really well, to be honest. There was some hugely brave performances of forwards. Genge, Maro, Toje. I thought Stewart on the wing had a really amazing game. He did not play there too much, but a Grand Slam's a Grand Slam. This is a big pressure game for France, and they'll take a lot out of it. You can see the reaction here from the crowd, the players. It's a big tick, and they've got over this hurdle. Now they really can, I think, focus on. There's the man with the amazing glasses. And
everybody be wearing those tomorrow in France,
those glasses,
and it's his birthday tomorrow as well.
But France were fantastic, and and you never felt, despite England played really well, you never felt England could win that game today. And I think we've got to stop thinking, well, if Manu was here or Owen was here. The lads played really well, and they played as well as they possibly could. I thought we gave them a real go. But, there's only one winner today, and France fully deserved to win today.
Johnny, I'm sure you retain a lot of affection for French rugby and French society. So what would you say about the magnitude of this achievement 12 years on from the last time?
Yeah, it's huge, and you can feel the support in the stadium. You can also see that France has taken a bit of a bashing over the years. Always, where's the flair gone? What's happened? It's all chaos. They don't know what maybe they've been up to, but you can see there's been a deeper plan, and that's what's impressed me, has been the solidity of the defence. We built our success upon a defensive, almost invincibility. And England challenged this French team today, and every time they were challenged, even with a great English try, they just came straight back. Real solid options, great kick-off, great chase, and just sort of said, okay, you can have that one, but you're not getting any more. And it's that maybe from an English perspective intimidates me a little bit about what the future holds for a relatively young French team with plenty to offer still on top of what they're already showing.
Lawrence, is it almost the perfect combination of structure and discipline when it needs to be, with that little je ne sais quoi when it needs to be at the other end of the pitch?
Yeah, I think France over the last 3 years have developed. I think their discipline and their organisation this season, in this campaign, has been much better. They lost the championship a couple of years ago because they gave a red card away. I think they're not the complete team yet. I think they need to get a bit fitter before the World Cup, particularly in their forwards. But with the quality of halfbacks they've got, you can just see the difference in the speed that they played at when they got down this end of the field. they up the power, they up the tempo, and they're a very difficult side to stop.
It was much better for England in the second half, but not enough. Courtney Lawes, the captain, with Martin Bayfield now.
Well, Courtney, there's a fabulous atmosphere around here. Of course, there's going to be France have got their day. How do England feel right now?
Yeah, pretty disappointed, to be honest. Certainly had them in fitness. We felt like they were getting tired, and we just failed to capitalise essentially. So that's on us. We've got a lot to learn from, obviously, but I'm proud of the boys' effort still.
Same again as in last weekend's performance against Ireland. So much to be proud of in individual effort, but the team not quite delivering what the team wants to deliver. What's missing at the moment, do you think?
Well, it's hard to say, obviously, straight after the game, but we'll go back, we'll have a look, and we'll try and find out, iron out any kinks and whatnot. So it is what it is. Obviously, we'd have loved to come out here and got the win. As I said, I really thought we were going to do it at a few stages in the game, but yeah, we didn't capitalise well enough.
Yeah, there were moments, of course, when you had France rattled the start of that second half, maybe halfway through that second half. It looked as though you could spoil the party.
Yeah, we really believe we could, and I know we can. I know we've got the team for it. As I say, we just need to be more clinical, execute better, and we can't let them off the hook that many times. However many turnovers they got at the breakdown, we knew they were going to go hard at that, and we didn't deliver. We didn't deliver there.
Courtney, tough today, but thanks for your time.
Cheers, mate.
France.
Courtney Lawes reflecting upon a much better second half performance from England, but not enough. Clive, what makes this French team the best team in Europe just at the moment? A team that will look forward to the World Cup. There's obviously another Six Nations to come before then and some summer internationals, but look forward to the World Cup with a level of confidence.
Oh, listen, I always go first to players. They've got an amazing group of players. They're all used to being successful in the under-20s winning World Cups. But to me, they've got the right coaching team. They've got the best coaching team in the Six Nations by a long way, just by the way they play, and also the way they're selecting the team. You just saw Lawes. To me, Lawes, if Lawes was playing for France, he's in the second row with Vokey. We need pace in the back row. While Lawes is a great player, he plays second row with Maro. We've got two of the world's best second rows. I think our selection is still too defensive, and we've still got enough pace in the actual team. So that's why France are ahead of us. Their selection, the way they're being coached, and they've created a real culture. And this stadium just says everything about French rugby at the moment.
I think it's a great example of France that all the amazing stuff, all the edges of their talent, their potential, is coming out when they're forced to just go into the unknown, run onto the ball without knowing what's next, and that's where they meet each other, they connect with each other, they find that level which is undefendable as far as England are concerned. I think England, we've got great structure, it's looking good, but players like Marcus Smith, they won't show what they're really capable of until they're forced to go somewhere where they have to find instinct and that intuition. At times in that first half especially, I was watching France thinking, I don't know who can defend that. Genuinely, it's too fast and it's too connected. And so I think, as we've been speaking here, that talent and that potential is in that England team. Can we turn the structure into the next level of the undefendable?
Antoine Dupont, we'll talk about his goal in the next, his try in the next part, but what a try it was too. A shot of Sean Edwards as well. And we talked about the defensive side of the game, didn't we, that France now have? I mean, you said beforehand, what, 50 medals as a player? Goodness knows how many more now as a coach.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's clearly he's got his message across very, very quickly, hasn't he? Because there's been a continual improvement in the French team. They really like him, and that man, typifies it all, really.
Player at the top of his game, isn't he, Antoine Dupont? There's the ball. That's what it'll be like in 18 months' time if that's the World Cup. He's a man at the top of his game, Clive, isn't he?
He is. I have to say, Mark, from a rugby point of view, I'm delighted for France. They are the best team in the Six Nations. Them and Ireland have taken a big step forward. Ireland got to be really proud, but this is the #1 team. And I have to say, just to back up Lawrence, makes my blood boil when I see Sean Edwards, coaching France. How anyone at Twickenham could allow that to happen is just beyond me, and we've just lost one of the best coaches, and he's coaching this, and it's no coincidence they're doing so well. But that's down to Galtier and Bernard Laporte. They've made this happen, and you need players, we need coaching teams, and France got the best coaching team. They've undoubtedly got the best players, and they're still young enough to get a lot better still.
And how good is this for the World Cup in this country in 18 months' time?
It's kind of perfect, because I think that's what we we're really after is an environment that's going to push rugby to the next level, incredible support, a real sense of pride and passion, and you can feel it here just by standing here. This is an exciting time for rugby. It's great to have a French team that's at the top of their game, especially when they're going to lead the way in 18 months' time.
We haven't kicked the plug out, I promise you. This is deliberate. Everyone's got their phones out, and this is, you talk a lot about France, that the heartlands are in the south, which they are, but increasingly, as they did in football, in these areas, in these suburbs of Paris, they're now targeting some rugby players who are making it through to the 15.
Yeah, I think, look, if your national team are playing well and they're winning, I think people get excited. There's no doubt about that. Clive said we want England players to be household names. These French players are becoming household names all across the land, and they know how to party as well, by the way.
I've never seen a stadium like this. I was here for the World Cup football, France-Brazil. This is twice the atmosphere. They're absolutely fantastic, and well done, France.
And the England players are stood out. They're literally just to our left watching all this, and good on them. They're very sporting at the end and applauded the French, and they made the tunnel as they always did and shook hands. They know each other so well. Let's hear from Raphael Ibanez. We heard from him beforehand. France have done it. They've got over the line, deservedly Grand Slam champions, and here he is with Martin Baker.
Well, Raphael, now your players can join in the enjoyment that you knew from a few seasons back. They're Grand Slam champions. What does this mean to French rugby?
12 years is a very, very long time, and it's been a very tense final game, but we get the reward. I think we're very lucky to have a fantastic group of players.
There were moments when you were rocking a little bit. England were coming back at you. What was going through your mind?
Well, we're just thinking we need to hold on, and fair play to England. They try to break our defense, but I think the spirit, team spirit, heart, and tactics, won us the game.
In 500 or so days' time, there's going to be a World Cup final here. This is the perfect launch pad, isn't it, for France to take this French rugby team to take the game to another level?
Yeah, but I would recommend our players, to stay our feet on the ground, because it's just a major step for this team tonight. There's more to come. There's more to come. I think we can still improve our game.
Many congratulations. Well done indeed.
The England players on a lap of appreciation, but it's all about the French team and the Grand Slam and the smell of cordite in the air as the fireworks go off here at the Stade de France. More reaction to come after the break. France Grand Slam champions for the first time since 2010.
Of the Guiness Six Nations on ITV is sponsored by That's the Way, Motorway, the site to sell your car. This is the way to sell your car. The car dealer's bid to give you up to £1,000 more way. This is the Motorway. To sell your car.
Yep. No one's leaving. It's not a very easy ground to get out of, to be honest, but nobody is leaving, and you can't blame them here at the Stade de France. France celebrating for the first time in 12 years Le Grand Chelem, the Grand Slam. Had some T-shirts made up before the game as well, which was quite ballsy of them, wasn't it? But anyway, fair dues, they've done it. And that man, the best player in the world, and we talked about it beforehand, Johnny, the lines that he runs, and lo and behold, he went and did it just at the vital moments.
Yeah, he actually in the try he scored, he was actually moving a bit slower than he usually does, maybe a bit tired, but he still knows, he's still seeing things on his way. So you watch him, he's having a look, he actually looks at the space. I think he thinks, I'll go and have that, and then all of a sudden he's just there again on the shoulder. But he also, that try's not done, he has to hand off, accelerate away, and this is a guy who's 25 years old. and he is now looking like one of the most experienced heads in rugby. He's captain of his team, he's shouldering all that kind of expectation, and yet every game he comes up with something new and shows us a little bit more.
I think the best players in the world find a way of influencing the game. You know, England got within a score, and maybe a bit of nerves in the stadium, and up steps Antoine Dupont. Aldrit runs against the grain, where England defensively weren't in place, and that man's always on the shoulder.
But to me, Mark, watching this French team live, that Aldrit, the offload there to Dupont, 1 to 8, or if the subs come on, the way they hit the rucks with speed, but their offload and their passing, they all come from the ball, they play so quickly. And as Lawrence said, they get fitter, they're going to be an amazing team.
You've been involved in different sports, Clive, and it's amazing whether it's the late Shane Warne taking a wicket when he needed to, or Messi scoring a goal when he needed to. The very, very best, almost subconsciously, instinctively, isn't it? They go, I need to do something now, and I'm going to back myself to do it, and I probably am going to do it. There's just something about them, isn't there? It seems to occupy a different dimension.
Yeah, it's the beauty of sport. You've got those players. They just believe this moment's going to come. France believed they were going to win this game tonight. And funny enough, Intermac had quite a quiet game. I think Smith probably outplayed Intermac tonight, but Dupont was just he was the best player on the field, deservedly man of the match, because he's just a threat everywhere. And as he captain your team, he's going to be the guy who's going to make the big spark. And the spark happened, and the rest is history.
I think what's really interesting about him, the way he plays, his demeanour, is almost expecting and knowing there is an opportunity somewhere. I just have to find it. It's not, oh, what will I do? It's a case of it's here, and he's waiting, and he's just looking, and then he says, there it is. And if it's not there, it's kind of like, there'll be another one. And he plays like that, and he finds them, creates them, finds them, finishes, tries, and you never see him with a body language that says, oh, what's happening to us? We're in trouble here. It's just wait for it, it's coming. And with a leader like that, everyone else, I think, has bought into it, and now they're expecting holes, and they find holes. I think it's a powerful spirit they've got between them.
Actually, a lot of people at home wondering, how on earth did France get themselves into this mess in the last 10 years? But Johnny knows, because he played here. Club rugby's been so strong, arguably too strong over the last decade in the French game.
Yeah, quite possibly, and I think they made a very conscious decision at the end of the last World Cup. With some quite brutal decisions. Bernard Laporte has got all the French clubs united in the same way that this man did with the English clubs. You need everyone pulling in the right direction. They're having to provide their players whilst they've been playing in the top 14. That would have been unheard of in previous campaigns. They've got themselves that little bit fitter. They've got a little bit more to go, and they've recognised that the national team is important, and this connection that they've got now between their fans and the team will only make them stronger. We don't have that in England yet. I hope we get it. We used to have it, we haven't got it at the moment.
But you just know, Mark, in club rugby, the top 14 in France, our Premiership, it's absolutely key breeding ground to the international team. But at the end of the day, the clubs know if the international team goes well, if England goes well, if France go well, the whole club scene goes through the roof. We saw it in 2003, we're sitting here in France, this crowd's amazing, we're all here still, no one's going home. I think they said on commentary, they love this team, they know the team inside out. These are real characters, we know who they are, and they come out and deliver for this team. And we've got to get back to that, we've got to create real, iconic superstar players that the whole of England can actually relate to. So when you see them playing for their clubs, you want to go and watch them play.
And Ben Case was telling me at lunchtime, it's very simple often, Johnny. They're very accessible to the media. Ergo, they're very accessible to the paying public around the country. They're not sort of shut away, cocooned away. You can only talk to one or two, which might be happening with England a little bit. They are accessible to everyone. And suddenly there are people in the south of France going, or anywhere in France, oh, I go watch my club now because I've seen the French team doing well on the telly. It's really not rocket science, is it?
I think there is certain parts of it which are really complex, and confidence is that. I think all these kind of things, they just work so well when the guys feel good about themselves. And you can lose games and feel good about yourself. You can win games and not feel good about yourself. But when you just get this sense that you belong, you're worth it there, and you get that support from the media a little bit, you get that support from just everywhere you go from fans. Once that starts to grow and grow and grow, you become unstoppable. And when you get a team that also cares deeply about each other, as we've spoken, they've been in the same teams under 20s a lot, they clearly have a real strong feeling for each other. When you get that and you really care about what you're doing and you really care about the people you're doing it with, coaches included, that's quite an amazing thing, and it's actually more unique than you think.
just think what the next row, the team are still doing this, the lap of honour. It's fantastic. Nobody is going home. The team aren't going home. It's France's night. We'll get more reaction after the break to France winning the Grand Slam here in Paris. The French captain and the best player in the world, Antoine Dupont, enjoying his moments with his friends and family and with the crowd here in Paris after their Grand Slam win. And Sean Edwards, a vital member of the French coaching staff who coached our man Lawrence at Wasps. There we go. And he said, when are you coming back to England, in his ear? One day, one day. Right, let's check in with Ben Kayser, see how he's enjoying the celebrations with Maggie Alfonsi and Martin Bayfield.
Well, I think the answer to your question is Benjamin Kayser is a little bit giddy at the moment. I mean, you are soaking up this atmosphere. That smile on your face will last 100 years. But the French public in this stadium have gone bonkers.
Listen, it's pure sheer joy. It's been a long time waiting, yes, but also you could see in the first half it was all buzz and happy and everybody was full of energy. In the second half, all of a sudden, this weight was all upon us and everybody was getting quite tense. This is a communion. Look, there's no wonder if those boys are going to go around the stadium a couple of times. They want to give it back to the people. They want to give it back to France. They've made everybody proud. We're just, you know, sports is all about that. Those extreme highs when you work really, really hard for something, you just want to enjoy it.
There is a uniqueness about this competition, Maggie, that we chase the Grand Slam. If this had just been for the championship, if France had lost somewhere during the competition, they just won the championship, there'd be joy, but there wouldn't be Grand Slam joy. This is one of the beautiful, unique characteristics of this Six Nations, isn't it?
Absolutely. To be part of a championship like this and then to win it, you know, undefeated, and the style that they won it. I mean, that was an intense, entertaining game. And for 80 minutes, I've been watching Benjamin up and down out of his seat, you know, getting excited by the game. And, you know, to see the fans, 79,000 people here, you know, observe what has been an amazing moment. You've got to say you absolutely love this championship and you love the moments that it creates like this.
There'll be time to analyse tactics and performances. Let's stick with the emotion as well, because we were sat right next to the England bench, and Joe Marler at one point leaned across to you and said, if you punch my arm once more as France attack, I'm going to deck you. He said it with a smile on his face. But you were getting very animated in that game.
Listen, I can't help to live every play with them. Like I always say, we in France we consider rugby 80% passion and the rest is a little bit of tacking or whatever you want to call it. We put our heart and soul into the way that we consume and we live through rugby. So on a moment like this, on a day like this, it was just so crucial to let all that emotion out. And I can't help to think that this is my team, you know. So I want the absolute best for them, and my heart got the best of me.
Importantly, when we talk about emotion with the French team, when the French are on top, and they, as we have seen over decades, they are the most entertaining, most beautiful team to watch. But they do allow emotion to get in the way. Today they didn't. They handled themselves when France came back at them, when England came back at them.
Absolutely. And last week against Wales, they learned how to win ugly in a crucial moment. Listen, today they did it in a... You did it in an even better way. But listen, I think these guys are still learning. When you think of Cyril Bailly's got 30 caps, Antoine Dupont's only 26 or 27. There's still a long, long way for them to learn, but they're building. And to build, you need to win a title. You need to go through those tough moments and come on top. The World Cup is you know, far down the line, yes, but they need to write and properly write that first page of their common history, and I think they did it in a really great way.
Well done. Allez le bleu. Congratulations. Right, back to you.
I think this is the first time since the final whistle it's been vaguely quiet in here. Johnny's had a selfie with Cameron Waukee. That was good. You had a look at his medal there. Should we talk about England? I think we probably should, the final few moments. Lawrence played really well with 14 men against Ireland, and second half they matched, score-wise, they matched France. So where do England go from here, 18 months out from a World Cup?
It's interesting, you know, they've saved their best two performances against the best two teams in the competition. You know, Ireland were comfortably second and France were comfortably first. They were the best team all the way through, and I think what this England group will need to harness is how do you start the tournament like they finished it, with the intensity levels and the physical levels and the mindset. And you know, they should have, if they'd have done that against Scotland, Wales and Italy, I think they might have set themselves up slightly differently. So, you know, that's what they've got to learn, is how to hit, you know, to come out the traps fast. And, you know, there were positives today, undoubtedly. I thought some of the performances from the forward pack and the young backs out there were great. And I think Eddie Jones needs to work out who are the players that he's going to keep for the World Cup next year and who aren't. And the ones you're not, don't keep playing them if you're not going to keep them.
I think for me, Mark, that they've got to go. Yes, the World Cup's important for always, but rugby's not just about the World Cup. It's always about the next game. And I just want to know, what's our starting 15? I'll just go back to real simple stuff. What is our best 15? I can name the French team, man for man. I know exactly what it is. And if there's a change, wow, they made a change. The whole of France loves it. England, I just want to know, what is our best starting team? Not as our finishers or starters. What's our best starting 15? And we go from there. We have got the players to match this French team. I've got no doubt about that. I just think we're getting a little bit smart in terms of all the other stuff. I just want to get back to real fundamentals of rugby. We've got some amazing players. You saw that out here tonight. But we're just a little bit behind them in terms of our organisation. We've got to just give them the go to just play the games. As I said earlier on, you know, 11 of the French team have started all 5 test matches. I'd like you to see that in the next 12 months so we know what's in the coach's mind. Let's start to hear from these players. Let's start talking about rugby and not power and the skill of the game.
And maybe I fell into the trap by asking about the World Cup, actually, because the Six Nations is every year and is always really important. And sometimes people don't want to always hear that it's framed within a World Cup cycle.
Yeah, I think the Six Nations is a really tough tournament as well, really, really tough tournament. And that's why it's such a big deal when you win a Grand Slam. You know, 12 years for France, it took us years to get one and years to get another one. And I think the World Cup is huge, but the thing that matters, as much as it's sometimes kind of sneered at a little bit, is just growth and improvement. And that's in all levels. It's not just on the training field, it's the growth and the feeling in the squad. How's that feeling day to day? Are guys getting a bit closer? Are you sensing that there's more excitement and just measuring absolutely everything in terms of just that sense of spirit, whatever it is? And a lot of it obviously is going to be about speed of ball and those little things, but if you try and practice everything and think about everything and cover everything in training as I used to, you end up tired and uninspired on the field. The inspirational part comes from going into a space and just saying, let's just see. We've got enough. The rest, let's see. And it's not let's see in a kind of, oh God, you know, who knows, but let's see in a kind of, let's see.
Yeah.
And it's that this French team are almost looking at. It's like, we've got enough. Our defence is great. Our set piece is great. The rest, just wait.
Just wait. The night belongs to France, though, that's for sure.
Listen, they deserved it. They've been outstanding right from the get-go. They've gone away from home. They've won 3 times, and they deserve it.
Been a pleasure to be here, hasn't it? Absolute privilege.
No, it's been an absolute privilege, Mark, and I've seen the best team in the Championship by a long way. And, you know, to think the World Cup will be here and there's a good chance England could be playing France in the semi-final.
Wow, that will be a spectacle. Thank you very much indeed, gentlemen. It's been absolutely tremendous to be here at the Stade de France. This evening, our next live rugby, April the 24th, will feature 2 of the big names of the Gallagher Premiership. Saracens entertain Exeter, and an FA Cup quarter-final double bill tomorrow, starting with Crystal Palace Everton at 11:45, Nottingham Forest Liverpool from 5:15, both on ITV and STV. What a Six Nations finale. Elation for Italy here in Paris. France has fallen in love with its rugby team again. Bye-bye.
This is a team moving upwards. That's a wonderful joint.
Of the Grand Slam.
It's a Grand Slam, a blue slam, and a nation has fallen in love with rugby again.
Coverage of the Guiness Six Nations on